Good morning, everybody. I am Vincent Devall with the Eagle Homes team here on our Eagles Nest podcast.
And as always, I'm Brad. That's right. We're gonna kick this one off with some Thanksgiving traditions. So this is our Thanksgiving special.
Yeah,
I think we've done this in the past.
we have something very similar over time.
I'm sure we'll do Christmas too. So just there's a little teaser for about
Yeah,
a month from now,
right.
right?
So,
So,
all right, there we go.
Vince, let's kick it
Yeah,
off with some fun questions.
I love
That
it.
we
I
that we
love
get
it.
to
Let's
answer.
go.
So what's your earliest Thanksgiving memory growing up? It's gonna be a challenging one, I think.
Yeah. I would say my earliest Thanksgiving memory is probably spending time at my grandparents' house when all my aunts and uncles would come over. We'd set up, the big table with all the food, cousins, everything like that. And then, we'd play in the backyard. The cool thing about Thanksgiving back when we were younger was there's actually snow on the ground, right?
There was
A
many
lot of
times.
times. But Brad, did you know that Macy's Thanksgiving Parade started in 1924? It was 100 years old last year, 101 this year. It's kind of crazy it's been around that long.
I think I knew that because for some reason, and I'll be the first to admit, probably other than when I was younger, I didn't really watch the Macy's Day Parade.
Yeah.
And since I've gotten into adulthood, it's the one day a year where I sleep in,
Okay.
and sleeping in for me is like past 7.
Because
So, but no, I would literally some years sleep into like 9 or even 10. It's like
yeah.
that one day a year I wake up. Another fun fact for me, by the way, just for earliest memory, I was born on Thanksgiving,
Yep.
so I don't remember it.
Well, and this year your birthday is on Thanksgiving
And
again,
my
right?
my birthday is on Thanksgiving this year
So
again.
ironically, his 50th birthday, ladies and gentlemen,
Yep.
it falls on Thanksgiving Day, the same day he was born.
Thanks for aging me.
Yeah, you're
I
welcome.
still don't look like I'm in my 30s
Yeah,
sometimes,
yeah. So,
except for the gray hair.
the funny thing about the Macy Day Parade back in 1924, it was actually zoo animals they brought out from Central Park Zoo to be in the parade. Now we have big ass balloons and floats that are as tall as buildings.
Mhm.
Totally different, vision now. I think someone should take videos and pictures, well, probably pictures from 1924, put it in a slideshow
Yeah.
and compare it to today. Like a monkey walking down the street compared to a monkey balloon, like the difference.
Yeah. And just so you guys know, this is going to be a staple in my hand this morning because I don't know, I'm cold. It's cold out, starting to feel like winter.
Yeah, it's
Obviously,
unfortunate.
hence your comment about Thanksgiving and snow back in the day.
Yeah.
I did not know that about the live animals though on the Bay State Parade. And also one thing I think that can overshadow the parade is, there used to be 2 football games,
Right.
and now there's 3, and the earliest one starts at like 11. I don't know what time the Macy's.
And then there's football games on Black Friday this year.
There's football games on Black Friday. The NFL has been basically NFL now dominates holidays.
Yeah. So if you're to pick, Brad, parade or football first thing in the morning?
I gotta go football. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I guess it's part of like past the parade thing,
Yep.
things like that. Maybe, and I don't even know if this happens because if you had like I don't know, do your kids at their age like watching the parade?
They do. They like
Okay.
seeing all the floats and the big animals. And holy cow! And I think I'll have to dig into this, but I believe the parade, the floats actually have to be made out of um, like biodegradable items, right? So it's got to be 100% like stuff that could be biodegradable. If I remember seeing that last year on the parade when they talked about the 100-year anniversary.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, I just think if I had kids like your kids' age,
yeah,
I think if they were into it, I would get into it again. But that right now, I don't have those in my life
right,
at
right.
that age. So,
So Brad, let me ask, what is your must-have dish at Thanksgiving?
oh, Vince, this is gonna take a second.
Well, okay, I must have like he must have 10. Let's go.
So there's a couple things, and I think it stands out for a couple reasons. I could go turkey, but actually, I kind of share something with one of my uncles.
Okay.
One of my uncles doesn't really eat turkey, but eats ham. So ham is usually a staple at our Thanksgiving, along with the turkey, which I feel bad for my mom, aunt, grandparents, stuff like that. Always had to have the extra larger protein.
Yeah.
But the ham, and then for me, it's I like to put the mashed potatoes on the plate with the corn in the middle and
Okay.
then cover it with gravy.
Okay.
It's just one of my Thanksgiving staples. So those are two dishes that really stand out to me. And and my mom always makes really, really good stuffing. And the gravy's good too. Like I said, I could go on and on. And some memories from like when my grandparents cooked and all that kind of stuff. So like I said, and I think this comes, it's my favorite holiday. I just love it. So I could keep going to the apple pie, to the pumpkin pie, but you got to have the ham with the mashed potatoes, corn, and the gravy on top.
So, are you a baked turkey, smoked turkey, fried turkey? If you're to go, from the turkey aspect.
Um, I will say this: my brother did awesome at fry or the fried
Deep
turkeys.
fried turkey.
I never did them. I've not done them. So that's probably my favorite version. My second favorite came out by mistake.
Okay.
One morning, turned on the oven and it wasn't working on Thanksgiving Day. Well, you're not getting it fixed on Thanksgiving Day. So I went out to the grill, like, yeah, I think this turkey's gonna fit. Grilled the turkey. That's the second best
All
turkey we
right.
had. So kind of the one happened by accident. The other one is, the fried turkeys became, I don't know when that became a thing.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
either.
I don't know.
Someone probably like you, like
Like,
all of a sudden experimented with it, and it took off,
oh,
right?
yeah, so good. So good though.
Yeah.
Obviously, the least, probably the baked and or the grill probably the most healthiest. The fried's not, but it's so good. It's that
Whatever.
one day a year,
So
right?
yeah,
Right.
one day of the year you overeat. Now
Exactly.
it is what it is. So, um,
What about you?
I'm gonna go with smoked. I really like. We smoke it and we stuff it. I rub it like
Okay.
it's so good. It usually not it doesn't dry it out. Some people are worried about smoking and
Right.
drying it out. But I really feel like the smoked turkey is my go-to. And I'm probably gonna teach my dad this year how to smoke a turkey,
Very
but
cool.
that's okay.
Okay.
It's all right.
So we kind of like these little fun facts.
Yeah.
So food fun fact: TV dinners were invented because of Thanksgiving in 1953. A company had 260 tons of leftover frozen turkey, so they packaged it with sides,
Huh.
launching the TV dinner craze. Do you have a favorite leftover dish, by the way, for Thanksgiving?
It's for me, it's the turkey with gravy. Like I love like just dousing everything in gravy. The turkey, the stuffing, I mix it, do it very similar, mix it all together. It reminds me, it sounds silly, those KFC bowls where
Yep.
the mashed potatoes, corn, chicken, everything's in one and it's got gravy on top.
Oh,
That's what it reminds me of.
that just reminded me of something. I totally missed one of my favorite foods with Thanksgiving. Sorry, Mom. My mom's um, little um, rolls that she makes.
Okay.
The leftover, taking that roll, heating that up, and then throwing like your turkey, your ham, your mashed potatoes, just everything on that, and and of course the smothered in gravy, of course, and
So,
eating that.
like one of my favorites is homemade cranberry jelly. My mom, on occasion we get fresh cranberries from up north. She lives in the they live in the Eagle River area.
Yep.
Get fresh cranberries, boil them, sweeten them. It's usually so much. It's so tart, but they're
Yeah.
so good. Uh,
But yeah, that's kind of a I just well, like I said, we could have gone on that food topic for a
oh,
while.
geez,
Um,
Louise.
all right, Vince. So who carves the turkey for the family?
I'm the one that carves the turkey.
Okay.
Like I usually will cook it, carve it. I would say in years past, I've always looked at the turkey and go, okay, we're feeding 20 people today. We need a 17-pound turkey, whatever the math works out to be. And I always have a ton of leftovers, first off, because we have so much food, right, on Thanksgiving. And then second off, like, do I really need a 17-pound turkey or can I do two 8-pounders and have like a little more variety of meat? Little, four legs versus two,
Sure.
four breasts, all that
Yeah.
good stuff. And then you can do them different ways, right? You can
Yeah.
do one maybe like sweet and savory, the other one hot and spicy, right? Like, so you can kind of mix and match what you're doing. But it's, fun fact, there's about 46 million turkeys eaten that are eaten during Thanksgiving.
That's a lot.
It's never that's almost one turkey or bird for every 7 people. Uh, so yeah, it's kind of interesting. So do you carve it or do you have someone else take the honors?
That's been something I think changed over time. I think part depends who cooked it. I think my brother carved it when he was doing the fried. I know my dad's done it, my grandfather's done it, probably uncles. I think it's a lot depends on who's hosting, who's cooking. My mother, of course, I've done it here and there. So that's something that's really that's probably changed up over time. I don't think it's anything consistent. No.
Yeah. So, we talked a little bit about the Macy's Day Parade and football, and I think both of our preferences are on that football. So,
Yeah, I
you
gotta go
know,
football.
yeah,
Yeah, sorry.
it really is. But it's kind of interesting how that tradition started.
Mhm.
Back in 1876, kind of it goes way back when was the first Thanksgiving football game. It was Yale versus Princeton.
Yeah, it wasn't even an NFL game. I don't even know if the NFL existed back in 1876. I think the NFL came along in the
Yeah.
20s. Oh boy, someone have to fact check this on the second. But yeah, so it wasn't even the NFL or professional football, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
All right, Vince. What's the funniest and most unexpected Thanksgiving moment you've had?
Oh my God. So it was 10, 12 years ago, I think it was. We were at my brother-in-law's house and we
Okay,
were, it was our first experiment with frying turkeys. Okay. And for those that don't know, water and oil don't mix.
they did not.
They decided to drop that bird in and it was like a friggin' volcano. And luckily the oil actually, it came over so fast to put out the flame
Oh,
on the
yeah,
on the propane tank, but it
dude,
could have been a mess.
that could have been a
I
disaster.
mean, it came over like they dropped the spurt, and they always forget. Like people just don't cook that often. Forget that. Like if you're putting a 15-pound bird in this big pot, what's inside it? A is going to raise,
Mhm.
right? So now they use it, they dropped it in. Like it wasn't like a slow merge. This is what
Mhm.
happens when you have a few cocktails.
Mhm.
It wasn't a slow merge. It was a and bird, oil, water, everything went everywhere. That kind of ruined the turkey for us. Like we had no oil left to cook with. The everything like all of a sudden cooled down. Like so we did not eat turkey that year.
And
We were on the
that's
ham stuffing and that was it. No turkey. Like everything just and I think it was a learning experience for those cooking. And I was not the one involved in the cooking it.
I think that's I think that's a fun, but also
Scary.
scary and a little sad too because you didn't
Yeah.
get the turkey that year.
Yeah, it was, and they kind of like they're like, oh, we'll just drop the turkey in an hour before we eat. I'm like, I don't think this is enough time. And then all that happened. I was like, guess we're not eating turkey today,
Yeah, and then with the fried turkey because that's the fastest cooking method.
right?
That's a pretty big fail because it's like, all right, what do we do now? Because I don't know what the cook time is in the fry, but I know I think it's under an hour.
It
I mean,
probably
it
is.
depends on
Yeah,
weight,
yeah, yeah,
obviously, but I think it's under an hour if I recall.
yeah. So keeping with the fun facts, in 1926, President Calvin Coolidge was gifted a live raccoon for Thanksgiving dinner.
Okay.
Yeah, and so instead of eating it, he kept it as a pet and named it Rebecca.
Would have been a little quick to turn a live raccoon around and eat it for Thanksgiving that year anyway. But it's kind of nice that you kept it for a
So
pet.
what's the funniest, craziest, most surprising thing you've seen on Thanksgiving?
Um, Honestly, I think it has to be. Something I said already, just because I thought it was funny. It was a pleasant surprise when I had to because of the kind of a mishap, like you said, like when I mentioned the grilling the turkey
Yeah.
because out of necessity, which was kind of it turned into like one of my second favorite. Actually, I've done the smoke too because I was a smoker. I've done the smoke with too, like you said. It's my one of my favorites. Like the traditional baking method for meat anymore is kind of like the probably the fourth. I really like the grilled, the smoked, or the fried
Okay.
turkey. So kind of interesting, but that's my biggest mishap or funny thing, I guess you could say.
So, do you have any unique family traditions? Games, post dinner rituals, pre dinner rituals. Like, you got people out there that are like,
um,
oh, it's Thanksgiving Day, let's go play flag football, right?
yeah, I remember when, growing up, kids and my cousins. I can remember like going out and you know throwing football or playing games in the yard. Card games, especially on my dad's side with those cousins and grandparents, that was a very regular afternoon
Yeah.
thing. I think with both sides, honestly, some sort of some sort of game. Dominoes is big on my mom's side, so
Okay.
I'm sure that came in. I'm trying to remember, but probably like now it's all about making a great meal, hanging out, watching football. Because I'd say pretty much everybody in my family enjoys watching football.
Yeah.
Um, I'd say throw a movie in there of some type, but that's more of a Christmas thing. So
Yeah,
that's
the
about
day after Thanksgiving,
yeah.
for me, a quirky tradition is for after Thanksgiving is my wife likes to watch the movie Elf 5 times over and put up Christmas decorations. But for us, one thing we started a few years ago with the girls is we have these placemats
Mhm.
that say thankful on them, right? And we have them write what they're thankful
Oh,
on. And
that's
it's
kind of
kind of
cool.
it's kind of neat, great way to kind of reflect back
Mhm.
on the year. It's kind of interesting. I mean, the placemats never make it because they end up with food and crap on it, but it's kind of a great way to kind of have the
Yeah,
kids reflect back on,
yeah.
the year in general.
Yeah, it's funny how the traditions change from like your early years to having kids to, I think for me, like it's probably the one holiday where I'm usually able to shut my brain off
Yeah.
and just relax and keep the thoughts on the food and the football basically, which is kind of cool.
No,
So,
I think right. I
um,
think that's tough for us in our industry to like take
right,
that one day and just shut
right,
down, right?
right.
It's
So,
so difficult.
speaking of unique traditions, and our fun fact, of course, is I did not know this, but the presidential turkey pardon is newer than you think. If I wouldn't have seen this, I would have guessed like back in the 50s, maybe 60s or earlier. It officially started in 1989 with George H.W. Bush.
Huh.
What's that's I think that's kind of I would have not
Yeah.
guessed that. So
Yeah.
yeah,
That's interesting.
yeah. Vince, all right. Kind of covered this, the leftover thing.
Yeah.
What
Like,
is there a particular like way you like to do it, or it's like a big thing?
no,
Like the next day
leftovers.
is like the next is that a big thing too with
No, I
families?
think by day two and even three, I'm like, man, do we have to eat turkey again? I think for us, it is a lot of times like turkey leftovers. We
Yeah,
usually don't even, we'll save them, but not a lot of them. And then we'll freeze. If we have a lot of turkey left over, we'll throw it in the vacuum sealer and freeze turkey. So we'll do like a turkey soup or a turkey
I was gonna say,
casserole or
yep,
something like that. That is totally different than like turkey and
yep,
stuffing,
yep.
right? We'll do something that is a little more, you know, like a turkey casserole,
I
right? So,
I was gonna say that like that's a pretty common one is the turkey soup.
yeah, yeah.
Um, or there's a number of different ways. Even for breakfast, I don't know why this is good, but put it in a pan, little oil and butter,
Yeah,
and get that seared on the turkey, and
that little crisp.
throw in a tortilla with some eggs
Oh, there you
and
go.
some cheese. Actually, tastes really good.
Yeah,
I know it's unique, but I'm weird and I put everything in a tortilla.
yeah.
uh, anyway,
Man, so here's an interesting, Brad. If you can invite one historical figure to Thanksgiving dinner, who would it be
ooh,
and why?
historical figure.
Historical figure.
Um, I honestly, this one's tough for me because I don't think it's a historical figure to anybody else. Just to me.
Okay.
So, um, yeah, I think it would actually be my grandfather who I never got to meet. My dad's dad.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think that's a great way to spin that, right? Like
yeah, because I
it,
saw some pictures. I look a lot like him, so he's a good looking dude. So no, I think that would be yeah. It's not a historical figure to many other people, but that's probably the one thing I think I missed out on.
yeah,
So yeah, that would
okay.
be it.
Yeah, fair. Did you know the first Macy's Day balloons debuted in 1927?
Uh, I did not, but it was Felix and the Cat. I know that.
That's like your script. Yeah,
So then you have to answer that question. So what's your dream guest at the table?
man, dream guest. Like if we had to go historical, right? This is gonna sound kind of quirky because I think my kids would get a kick out of it in today's
Hmm.
world. Is Abraham Lincoln.
Okay.
Like you hear all the stories about like what he did and chopping down the cherry tree, and more to see like have him talk about how people grew up back then, because I
Right.
think our kids and our generation is so
Right.
used to, technology. And, my youngest, Tegan, is putting together a Microsoft PowerPoint slideshow. It's kind of crazy. Like, we didn't have this back then, right? So I think that have them like, have someone like that talk about how
Yeah.
they prepared a Thanksgiving
Something
meal.
from back in the day that had some really cool history behind it.
Yeah, history and a big impact, right,
Right.
to where we are today.
I mean, do you go all the way back to the first Thanksgiving meal in the what is now the United States? Maybe?
I don't know,
I don't know.
right? Like,
Yeah, be a pretty cool one.
yeah,
All right, Vince, how do you balance gratitude with the busyness of life during the holiday season? That's a deep one.
that is deep. I think at that point in time, it's about reflecting back. Understand what you're thankful for. Getting, if you have family members or friends that you just haven't talked to, or
Mm-hmm.
maybe they just not in a great
Mm-hmm.
position with relationship with, like, now it's time to put all that to the side. Be
Mm-hmm.
like, screw that. Like, this is what it's about. It's about celebrating and being thankful for what we have today, right? I think everyone reflects back on just some of the bad things throughout the year. I think we need to really reflect on like the positives and being grateful for
Yeah.
what the season brings.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
Thanksgiving wasn't always on the fourth Thursday in November.
I did know that. I don't know when that changed, which
So
I
in
I have a
1939,
feeling you're going to educate us on this.
1939, FDR moved it up a week to extend the shopping season.
Okay.
So, I think it was last year from when Thanksgiving fell to Christmas. It was like 21 days. It was something, maybe like
Oh,
28 days or something.
it fell so late in the month.
Yeah, it fell so late in the month. But so he did it, I mean, to extend the shopping season. People called it Franksgiving
Okay.
because and Congress fixed the date in 1941. So, what's your favorite way to slow down and reflect?
Hmm. I think that's changed as well.
You
I
get older, you turn 50, shit like that changes.
I think I think just which I think just showing appreciation to people, like you said, like you haven't seen them in a while, or maybe a relationship's changed or faded. Just kind of getting down to the basics of, at the end of the day, like those people you just want to show some appreciation. I think I've done it in the last few years. I know I'll do it this year. Like sending out those texts or whatever, at least those little texts, or random phone call. Not that I want to bother somebody on Thanksgiving, but just to say, man, I haven't talked to you in a while, or whatever's going on, just want to let you know I appreciate you, that
Yeah,
type of thing. So
yeah, that's
I
awesome.
talk to you every day, so you're not getting that this year.
Whoop, whoop. It's your birthday, so I'll call you.
That's true.
So, Brad, what's one tradition you hope you can continue on and future, your daughter carries on, whatever that might be, future generations carry forward? What's one, Thanksgiving tradition or tradition in general?
I would say, I don't know if it's a tradition or not. I just think it's a great time to just kind of unload, relax, reflect, be thankful, those types of things.
Yeah,
And and then I think it really, I know we've already started business planning and stuff like that, but I think it in my head, that's Thanksgiving usually kicks off that, like, all right,
holiday season.
yeah, and I don't like when we get to the New Year's resolutions. I don't believe in resolutions. I believe in goals and things like that. I think that's when that thought process really kicks into overdrive for me. Is
Yeah,
like, what do I want the next year or years to look like? And then usually there's that reset. So
yeah.
that's the one tradition I would tell my kid to, and just any family member, friends. Just I think that's a cool one that I would do.
Reset, reload.
Reset, reload.
I love it.
Another fun fact, and this is kind of up my alley. I would not have guessed this until I read this, that wine is the most popular Thanksgiving drink. In fact, the Cabernet Sauvignon and Chardonnay top the list.
Interesting.
So and I don't think growing up, my family were not big wine drinkers. I am, my family now
Yeah.
is extended family, stuff like that, and wine drinkers. So definitely in recent years, but I couldn't tell you what it was back then.
I would say so. Funny, that was the one time a year that I as a kid was allowed to try alcohol, and we were allowed like we did a Thanksgiving toast just like this with it was usually a red wine. Don't ask me what kind. It was it was probably
He's
whatever was cheapest at the store, right?
you're not the wine connoisseur.
Yeah, no.
No.
But I think today I love a good mulled wine.
Okay.
I really enjoy a good mulled wine. Um, we'll usually have it on the stove simmering,
Yep.
and then we'll drink that into a toast with mulled wine.
If done well, and I'll give our neighbors across the street at Buzz credit. They had a mulled wine over
Yeah.
the weekend for the wine walk and just for the weekend activities, light up the night, all that stuff.
Yep.
They had a mulled wine. I didn't have it this year, but I had it last year, and she did. It was really good, and so they've done right. If not, I'm very traditional in my wine drinking, but that's actually a really, really good one.
Yeah. So I want to, before we close out, I want to add, what we're going to start doing, Brad, and I thought about this, we've talked about this, starting next week, we are going to start highlighting a quick event or business in our community, so in the Burlington area.
Yep.
Okay. And then we're going to talk about one of our, quick snippet of one of our listings that are on markets. And then we're going to jump into the podcast. So, if you briefly watch us and you made it this far, next week we're going to start twisting things up.
Yeah.
Quick event and listing that one of Brad or I or one of our team members has out there that's on the market.
That's good. We've been kind of talking about this a while. We've been doing this. For those who know, we've been doing this podcast for
2.5 years now.
2.5 years now. So we like to change. We've always wanted, especially to highlight our local business friends.
Yep.
In the area. So by the way, another nudge, we'll need help with that because as much as we know a lot of the different businesses, we want to know too if you want to be highlighted. You can tell us something that you want us to highlight about your business. And of course, we love guests, so you're always welcome to come on and guest and talk about your business.
Right.
Too.
Right. Love it.
Well, I'll be honest, that was a fun one. Traditions, turkey. I know it would be right on my alley as my favorite holiday. So
right, usually is. So great day. Everyone have a great Thanksgiving. We will be back next Monday. Thank you for everyone that supports our community and what you do out there. Have a great week, everyone. Bye.